right, what is going on, everybody? I'm gonna jump in this thing doing a quick audio check just to make sure you guys can hear me. Listen, welcome to Deskrig TV. I'm your host, Garrin Bulani. I gotta be honest with everybody right now. I'm shooting from the hip today. This is the first time I have a guest on to be doing producing and doing hosting and trying to really make things different. And for me, I really value video, and I value individuals who go outside and go above and beyond to show up what I like to call as virtually professional. And there's nothing short of what this guest is doing here today. So I'm gonna check my quick live, making sure I got my overlays and everything all accurate, because I started doing this last night. And I typically use OBS when I do all of my overlays and everything like that. What I actually do is I use Restream to use it to all the different channels and everything like that. So with that being said, I want to make sure I have the overlays and everything like that to make sure that we introduce this guy properly and effectively. So sit tight. Let me relax here. And I was going to say, I think we got Teflon Don on the actual screen the whole time, dog. There. Don, get off, bro. This is my show. Just kidding. It's your show. I'm just the host. This is what I'm saying. I'm shooting from the hip right now. I got Teflon Don in the building. But listen, I want to do this just to show everybody that when you go live, you can prepare all that you want. Listen, I'm telling you, if there's one thing that I do, I have a virtual sales checklist that even if I'm going into Zoom meetings, virtual calls, and virtual meetings, every single time I'm checking my audio, checking my internet connection, making sure everything is up to date. And listen, sometimes you just got to go with the flow kind of thing. So, I mean, I'm not going to give you the greatest intro. I want to though. Let's do this. Here we go. We got this. And I got a little, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome to Deskrig TV. Let me get you on the full screen, my dude. Teflon Don. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a round of applause. Mr. Don Terrell. There we go.
Now in the street there is violence.
Mr. Don, how's it going, man? How are you doing today?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. How's it going, man? Man, you got
Wonderful.
the music. You got the music rocking. I'm trying to get my music game up like that, man.
Hey, I see you. Listen, if there's one, I can't get the frames properly, but listen, you want me to be DJ for your show? I got you. Listen, that's one thing I've been really focusing on this year is audio and virtual cables and really understanding that because music brings a different dynamic when it comes to presentations and live shows. And listen, Don, I've seen you a lot, watched a lot of your shows. We chopped it up a couple months ago with Gabe. I was a little bit in a different state there. I think it was a Saturday night, so I was just, I like to have fun in the studio and stuff like that. So it was a little different. This is a little bit more business professionally. I mean, this is how I show up in the daytime. So it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Welcome. Listen, let the people know a little bit about you. Talk to me, baby.
Oh man. Well, everybody knows me, Don Terrell. My business DG Graphics. I'm like you, man, a content creator, live streamer. I love motion graphics, video animation, creative digital design. Like you said, I host my own live stream show called The Color of Motion every Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. Central Time. But I'm just a content creator at heart, and I love creating content, whether it's through motion graphics, whether it's through animation, whether it's through VFX, visual effects, cartoons, comics, painting, drawing. I just love content creating.
I love that. I love it. And it's interesting too, because even a little bit about my background, I mean, I love content creation, everything like that. I focus all of my content on LinkedIn. I feel a lot of people on LinkedIn stray away because it's an extremely hard platform it's not a typical platform where you go viral on and get all the likes and the engagements. But I genuinely feel a place like LinkedIn needs individuals like us who are able to come onto the platform, demonstrate their talents, because in the last 2 years, this has been a really interesting dynamic as far as content creation and especially live streaming. And yourself, you've been absolutely rocking it. You're significantly ahead of the curve, and I'm excited for individuals like yourself who are going above and beyond in the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years even. when we talk about content and being able to have stuff in the vault.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe let's take, animation and motion graphics and everything like that. Has that been something you've been always passionate about? I know you love the superheroes and all that kind of fun stuff. And in all reality, what I like about your stream and your platform is you have a really dynamic, even your backdrop, different colors, and just really creating an engaging picture. Because I get a lot of questions on, hey, what's the best equipment to use? What do we need to use? And in all reality, a lot of people undervalue the power of light and what light
Yeah.
can really do for even the basics of cameras to really get the best out of that. So, what brought you into the motion graphics? Was this kind of a hobby and then you switched into something full time, or what was that about?
Well, I always loved cartoons and comic strips. Like I said, I originally wanted to be a comic strip artist when I was growing up. And like I said, I ended up going to school for traditional graphic design, visual communication. But then when computers started to become more prevalent in digital design, I found it was just a great match. And I came across animation and motion graphics. I found it was just a great match for what I love to do, which was creating graphics and animation and most, cartoons. So when Toy Story came out, and like I said, I started seeing a lot of the motion graphics, I was like, okay, this is just a great pairing in what I like to do, which is graphics, still graphics, but also having them move.
Wonderful. I love that. And that's the thing. I mean, we talk about that. I love the concept of automation or animation because there's still photos, but there's an interesting dynamic. I can even in both of our backdrops, there's a very slight motion that just kind of, a little bit. It's like I said, it takes a separation from a lot of other individuals, and it's really a technique. I try to do motion graphics to a small degree, but that's not my expertise. So it's amazing to have individuals like yourself who really specialize in that stuff, because it definitely makes jobs like mine a lot easier, and it definitely makes production and shows and even virtual presentations a lot more entertaining for the individuals. So
Yeah.
I mean, for you, Don, is this kind of like your main motion graphics, or maybe talk about your services? Because I know I have a lot of people on my platform who want to go into live streaming and maybe who don't want to spend so much time with animation, because that takes some time and it takes skills and it takes ability. So
Yeah.
is that kind of your main thing? Or maybe talk about if there's anybody watching on my platform, if you need the Teflon Don services, what can you do for us, Don?
Well, that's my jam. Motion graphics, video animation, creative digital design, live stream. So whether it's overlays, animations, graphics, that's kind of my jam.
I love that. And it's I mean, amazing. I'm gonna have to get some animations with you and everything like that. And even with me, it's I love teaching people about live streaming. And so maybe let's talk about with you, because you do a consistent live show. I know you have a cup of coffee foundation just to help content creators. And I love that. I'm gonna definitely be contributing to that, because there's one thing that I need to vouch for all content creators out there is there's this expectation that absolutely everything is free. But I think a lot of people don't understand, the time and the preparation that goes into developing content and high quality streams. Even for myself, I take these streams extremely serious. So last night I'm sitting here, I'm configuring my stream deck, I'm getting the hot buttons all properly, so it's a couple flicks of the switch and everything. I'm getting the background. So, and this is the first time where I've had another guest on to the show, and I really want to highlight individuals. So I mean, even when you came in, like, everybody watching that 1080p stream, baby. There ain't nothing better than Deskrig TV than watching it on 1080p. I'm telling you, we're doing it different over here at Deskrig. So,
Man. But you made a great point, which is why I love live streaming. Is you just roll with it's live, so things happen, and you just have to roll with it, and that's what it's kind of taught me. The things come up, learning how to roll with what happens and what doesn't happen, and things not working or audio not, you can prepare all you want through the week, and just things seem to happen.
I love that. And I think what really creates a dynamic live streamer is somebody who's able to adjust quickly on the move, right? Oh, the audio is not working properly. And then, being able to really swiftly identify what the issues are and then go on to the fly. And, it's for anybody out there who's thinking about going live streaming, who is maybe worried about that. Listen, it happens, things happen, and we think because we're going live that we're all sitting there, we're going to judge, oh man, this guy's audio sucks, oh man, whatever, right? When in all reality, it's we need the audience's help to be like, hey, I can't remember, the amount of times that I've been told in my chat, like, hey G, you're on mute, and I was going off on a, I'm telling you, man, there is some gold that I've been spitting that will never ever be out there because I don't know how to hit the dang mute button properly. So
Oh
I love
man,
that.
things happen. Like just on my last week's show, the guests dropped out because they were
Oh
having
yes.
issues, so they fell out of the broadcast. So I had to quickly go to my solo screen and kind of buy time till they logged back in. And so, like I said, things just, it's just the nature of life. It's just the nature of life.
And you grow, and that's the thing is what's
Yeah.
really crazy about the community and everything. I was watching a show where you have a Facebook group that really helps individuals who want to, more engagement, learn a little bit more, and just really get inside tips and everything like that. So maybe talk to the group and everybody about your YouTube, your Facebook channels and everything like that. So anybody who's watching and who wants to, be somebody who's in a very elite position, Don is in a very, I would say I'd put you in a 1% category of live streamers and individuals who are really going out there above and beyond. So for anybody who's out there watching in the crowd and you want to learn more, this is the individual. So maybe let's talk about, your channels and where they can find you, Don, just because, listen, you can't always come to Garrin. We want to see Don sometimes, right?
I appreciate that, Garrett. And definitely, like I said, I am constantly growing and learning myself. As well as anybody, there's so many great content creators, not just on LinkedIn, but just so many other platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and so many other places. But I would definitely love people to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Don Terrell. Um, Check out the show, subscribe, um, get engaged because I definitely like hearing from people because it makes me better. Also active like on LinkedIn is kind of my main jam platform that I really love connecting with people
Yeah, there
on.
we go. Shout out
Um,
LinkedIn.
yeah, shout out to LinkedIn. Definitely be a part of the Facebook group, facebookgroups.com/groups/ the color of motion. The group is growing. We're having a lot of engagement, a lot of fun, sharing a lot of industry news, and just really connecting with people.
I love that, and it's interesting. So I mean, for yourself, and I've seen your desk rig. I call them all desk rigs and in the micro studio and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So you're an individual who has a multiple camera angles, and I have always valued having like a dual camera, a different dynamic, because it really, when you talk about content creation, and even for myself, I'm sick when it comes to cameras. I can't get enough cameras. You see stuff like that. So it's like it shows a different dynamic, and it doesn't always have to be, the mirrorless camera. Like, look at that. And you talk about a live streamer and somebody who really wants help. And I love this, man. Like, this setup's crazy. I see you got the focus right and everything like that. And it's man, this is a phenomenal setup, and I love that. So maybe because you have your gear up there, a lot of people ask me, hey, gee, like, what's the first thing I need to do? I only have a webcam. What are the steps? So, I mean, maybe walk us through your journey as far as becoming a live streamer, because I don't imagine you just went out and purchased all that stuff at once. I imagine
Oh
it was kind of a
no.
yeah, I imagine it was kind of a
It was
gradual thing.
gradual. And I tell people if you go back to the first episode of my show,
Oh, man.
and watch through the episodes, you'll definitely see the progression of where I started from. I was using, and it's funny, because I was doing a show, live stream show, earlier with a partner, or a couple of years ago with a partner of mine on another show, called Talking Creative. And like I said, when we started doing it, I was using my computer mic, my computer camera, and he was saying, "Oh, you got to get a microphone. You got to
Yeah,
start stepping up and get stuff." So it was definitely a gradual process for me getting my mic, getting a camera. Like I said, these cameras right here, these other two views, they're webcams. They're not a
perfect.
DSLR. My main camera is a Canon A6000, but these
Dang.
right here are just webcams, Logitech
It,
webcams that give really good quality and everything. So
it's
it doesn't
amazing.
take
Like,
a lot.
yeah, but I want to mention like those cameras, Don. If you can go back to one of your webcams there too, and I really want to highlight this because it's I'm looking at my screen right now, and it's sometimes, especially individuals who are watching on LinkedIn. Unfortunately, the LinkedIn platform squishes everything down to
Yeah.
720p. But
Yeah.
when you go to the YouTube page, you're going to be able to see that 1080p what we talk about. But I'm looking at my monitor right now, and another dynamic when you're actually watching is having like a 4K monitor that can really do that.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like I watch my stream sometimes. I'm like, man, I wish people could see what I'm looking at on my monitor because it's very different. But you look at that, and just for being a basic webcam, it's a phenomenal picture as far as a secondary camera, I would
Yeah.
say. For
Yeah.
somebody, a main camera and everything like that, I'm always going to be talking about, a mirrorless camera, DSLR, and all that kind of fun stuff. However, for individuals who are just getting started, if you're starting with a microphone and just a webcam, the thing is you really want to find out if you enjoy it and
Yeah.
you want to do this, right?
Yeah.
This is what happens. A lot of people like the idea of podcasting and live streaming, and they realize it's very difficult, and it takes a certain type of skill to be able to, for someone like yourself, if a guest falls off, just be able to banter and really talk about that kind of stuff. And sometimes it takes a little difference. So being able to identify that. However, when you're in a position, I work with sales reps, sales leaders who are on Zoom calls, putting together Zoom presentations, sales reps.
Yeah.
That's when I talk to people and be like, listen, man, your commission check, I know what your job is. I know what your commission checks are. And the fact you're showing up in a webcam and no microphone, it's like, we need to really reevaluate in the structure of showing up in the video virtually professional. So
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with gradually doing things, but for myself, one thing that was frustrating is because I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to go in this, and there was no turning back. So, but I didn't know what equipment to use, and this is 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So I, unfortunately, and it's not unfortunate because I look at that as almost like an MBA or a case study where I spent significant amount of money on different products to learn about them, rather than just watching YouTube. I could actually use it and feel it and understand it, and
Yeah.
I realized there's a lot of equipment that are good for short-term uses, but in the longevity of things, it's going to become obsolete as you grow and everything like that. And I mean, this
Yeah.
is what we do in Deskrig TV, and obviously a shameless plug because hey, it's my TV show. I can do what I
Yeah.
want. You know what I
Do
mean?
what
But
you
listen,
want, baby. Do what
come
you
on
want.
now.
It's yours, man. All right.
Definitely. I mean, the thing is just if anybody who's looking to be interested, and I feel a lot of people when they see my studio and they see my setup, they get intimidated because they feel, oh, I can't get that or I can't attain that. But I want everybody to understand at Deskrig, when we do consultations and when we put your budget in mind. We understand what you want. We want to know what your objectives are, right? If you want to be the professional live streamer and you want to be Garrin Bulani, it's like, damn, you need to have a Garrin Bulani setup. However, if you just want to be an individual who can show up on the podcast and be confident with how they look, there's different sizes and different desk rigs that we can get you all set up. So I encourage anybody who's watching this who maybe not know the place to go and they don't want to spend hours and hours on YouTube finding the proper equipment. You sit down with myself and our team, and it's a 1-hour consultation where we can talk you through that, and we get you a deliverable of a complete list of exactly what you're going to need to become Deskrig certified, and then
Yeah.
you can take that with you as you want, the gradual steps, right? And we'll be with you every single step of the way, or you can buy everything at that time, knowing that you're purchasing the right equipment and you're not wasting anything. So there's my shameless self plug on the show, man. There we go.
No, hey, I am not mad at you. And to your point, a minute ago before that is for those that, like I said, are just starting out and they're not sure whether they, would like it or enjoy doing live streaming. You don't even have to get a webcam. You have a phone. That most phones are 4K. You can
Mhm.
start out there just live streaming just to see, like I said, whether this is something that you'll enjoy and want to level up. Like I said, when I started using my computer, camera, which is decent quality, but I wasn't sure, like I said, if live streaming was something I was going to really enjoy, really like doing. And as I found out, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy doing the show and everything. That's where I started, okay, learning more, getting better equipment, getting, just leveling up my skill and knowledge in it. And I'm still constantly learning on new things, new ways to do things, new ways to do the show, new ways to do equipment, you know.
Well,
it's a
that's the
learning
joys of
process.
technology, right?
Yeah.
Technology is constantly changing. We even talk about the Restream platform. They just announced that they're actually giving individuals an opportunity to have live streams embedded on their website, which is
Yeah, I
amazing.
saw that. Yeah.
That it's like that's crazy because it's like a website GarrinBulani.com. It's all of a sudden now you have a personal brand and you have an individual. Not only are you going to all your social media platforms, and the fact, I thank you for allowing me to hack into your network, right? I see that you linked up all of your channels for
Oh
your
yeah,
streaming, and
yeah.
I love that because that is a phenomenal way as far as a streamer or just anybody wanting to get exposure. I value that immensely, which is why when I have you on the show, I want to make sure that I'm making you look the best you possibly can because I do appreciate being able to tap into other people's network because that really allows growth as individuals. And I've done shows all myself, right? And I understand there's an interest of being able to have guests on and everything like that. So I'm having a lot of fun doing this. So I'm excited to have other individuals on. But I mean, saying with yourself, just starting things out, you're always in motion graphics or you were always in, the computer world and everything like that. So was there a tipping point for you saying, oh man, like this is it, and then start upgrading? Or what was it about that you said, hey, this is what I need to do and I find value in this, and therefore I'm going to invest in myself and have better equipment on that?
Yeah, I think like midway through the show I had before this, Talking Creative with my friend and partner Ozil DeBostos, I kind of realized that I loved live streaming and it was so much fun putting together the show. It was difficult, like you said. It's hard putting the production together, especially when you don't have a team and you're doing it, kind of yourself. But I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed having guests on. I enjoyed meeting people, just the whole thing. I think that's when I really started, realizing, wow, I really love live streaming and I really love, being able to integrate video, motion graphics, just the whole production and what I love to do.
I love that. I'm with you on the live streaming. I was a university athlete, so there was a concept of like a game day for me when I was a
Yeah.
basketball player. Like I would take my game days seriously. I would put out my fresh mids. I get the clothes on the bed. I'd have a routine every single day, and I find that I'm bringing that with me on live stream days. Right? It's very strategic for myself. It gets me putting. I'm in the studio an hour before every show, just
Yeah.
enjoying my environment, having music playing, just really taking a load off because live streaming can be intense, right? And
Yeah.
we're in a world like you slip up one time, and it's like, oh damn, you got everybody against you, right? So being able to understand that and be really value it, so that's truly amazing. And I mean, we got 10 minutes left on this thing. That man, dang, half hours go by quick. I might have to
I'm
bump this
telling you, it
into
just
like,
goes by. And I tell my guests that I'm like, it goes by so fast because I intend my show to be like 45 minutes to an hour,
yep,
but they just roll by into an hour and a half, 2 hours so
yep.
quick, just
And I
so
want to
quick.
talk about this because I started building my TikTok page. I get this all the time. Yeah, I focus on LinkedIn, and Garrin, you need to expand. You need to go out. And I don't think a lot of people know how much content I have in the vault that nobody's
Yeah.
seen, right?
Yeah.
And you talk of like this, like I did an hour show of mine this week. I took a whole hour, and then it was me bantering. And it took me a while to actually extract it, edit it, put subtitles on it. But I ended up getting 30 TikTok clips out of one live stream, and
Yeah.
I pre-scheduled everything. So now I posted this yesterday. I have one TikTok getting post every single hour for the next 30 hours.
Wow.
Right. So you talk about the power of content creation and
Yeah.
being able to do this. So I'm very excited to take a half-hour stream like this, chop it up into little micro content. And then, even if you have an editing team or a marketing team, shifting that off to them and allowing them to build your social media pages for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I started to realize this, there's designated people for a TikTok page. I've had people come out to me and they're, hey, can you build my Instagram page? Can you build my TikTok page for me? I didn't even realize, like, oh man, like you're right. It's, social media pages are so dynamic and they're so different as far as algorithms go
Yeah.
that individuals such as yourself, I want to talk about live streaming on the other side of it. You don't have to be the face of the show. Post production and remote
Yeah.
producing is
Yeah.
it's not even booming yet as far as the industry goes. It's just starting right now, and this is what we talk about with Deskrig, putting people in positions where they can be a remote producer and they can take other people's content and make a phenomenal salary or
Oh yeah. Yeah.
compensation doing that, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't take much to get really high quality content, right, with that.
No, no. Like I said, it's funny that you mentioned TikTok because I was just watching a webinar the other day. Another TikToker was talking about, content and how TikTok is, a great place of building following fast and driving people to all your other channels. So I'm like you. I'm realizing that with all these shows and all the videos and stuff that I've been doing, I got a ton of content that I
Oh
can
man.
slice up and just reuse and repurpose on all these other channels. And like I said, it's just, and that's just, like I said, video content. You're not even talking about, the still quotes that you can
Exactly.
pull out of it and
Yeah.
all the other slide decks and things that you can pull out of it and create as well.
And even the audio aspect of it too. And this
Yeah.
is what I mean, we talk about, I come from a business background, and how often do we hear about, investing and compound interest? You do it at the start and it just looks like pennies. It doesn't matter. But all of a sudden, year 5, year 10, it's like boom, boom. And this is the exact same thing with content
Yeah.
creation. You're investing in yourself. It's a long-term game. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't realize this, there's going to be another TikTok in the next 10 years. There's going to be another Facebook in the next 10 years. So you know what you get to do with that whole bank and that whole vault of content that you just produced over the last 5-10 years? Boom, you get to hyper focus it on another platform. And the thing is, like a place like TikTok, it's a volume game, right?
Yeah.
You post once a day.
Yeah.
There's guys out there and girls out there, of course, that are posting 4, 5, 10 times a day, right? And I have a goal for myself this April to post 10 TikToks a day. So I'm looking at my board right now. I got April 4th, I posted 10. I got April 5th, I posted 30. So I'm ahead of the game. But I just want everybody to understand the dynamic of being able to go live streaming and how important it is. However, if you're wanting to do that, you need to look like a Don. You need to look like a Garrin, because you get the high quality content. There's nothing worse than going to the chopped up content and it's like terrible audio. It wrecks a person's brand, and it's really hard to take people seriously on that just because of the world that we're in, right? So it's very interesting with that.
So true. And it's funny. I tell people, because I do a lot of like Zoom networking calls with people in groups and stuff. And I'm using, my Ecamm setup and piping it into Zoom. And I've gotten so many people that say, how are you doing that through Zoom? I'm not using Zoom to do this.
Yeah, I know. I
And
love Ecamm. I love Ecamm. I wish I had a Mac, because Ecamm it makes everything simple. I love OBS, and
man.
OBS is really cool.
Yeah.
But maybe individuals out there, and listen, I'm watching the chat, and unfortunately, because this is my first, I can't pop up the chat. But listen, we see you in the chat. I mean, we got Sue-Ann saying you look great, Don. We got Joseph down in Miami. We got Robert Barry, Cargo Margo, all the loyals, and all. That's my team on LinkedIn, and I appreciate every one of you guys showing out here and sitting with me and Don. And super fun. So I mean, maybe talk to everybody, if individuals who maybe don't have a PC and they have a MacBook, maybe give them a little bit of understanding of why Ecamm is so dynamic and simple, because I think of I just watch it and I'm like, damn, that is extremely, and I don't even use it, but I know how dynamic it can be.
I mean, I personally loved Ecamm because it's just, like I said, for me, it was so easy to wrap my head around. I got OBS and started trying to play with it, but it was just a little too technical getting things working and
Yep.
getting stuff to work right and do. And when I found Ecamm, for me, it was like the heavens opened up, and I liken it to like Photoshop and After Effects for live streaming. It's just so easy to drag and drop things over videos, overlays, graphics. It for me, I love it. I can't say it enough. In the community, I learned so much. I have to say, because I'm constantly learning and constantly getting better with, live streaming and Ecamm. The community is just top notch. Anything I want to learn or any question I have about audio, video, cameras, whatever. My camera, I was struggling for the long time when I got my DSLR camera, this
Yeah.
Canon. I just couldn't. I was watching everybody else's live stream. I was like, man, how did they get their camera so sharp? The image. And I jumped on and was doing a live stream into the group. And I was saying, man, I can't figure out my camera settings. And there was a member of the group, Diana Gladney, who knows everything about everything on camera.
Thank you,
Just
Diana.
jumped onto the live stream and was showing me the settings and everything. And it was like, wow, okay. It just opened everything up, and the community, just any problem you have, any question you have, there's somebody in there that's got an answer for it.
Wonderful, awesome. I know Joseph is asking for the link for Ecamm, and Joseph, I'll get that for you. But listen, I only got two hands here, and I didn't prep good enough to be able to get you guys out there. So hey, I'm good, but I'm not that good yet. But listen, continual improvement and getting better on the live. So definitely,
I'm
Joseph, I'll
telling
get
you,
you
it's
hooked up
tough
with that.
running a live show when you're the only
Woo!
one and you don't have a producer and stuff.
I
Trust me.
know. I know, and I love it though because I love showing individuals that it's possible, right?
Yeah,
It's
it
you're
is.
able to do it. It takes a lot of
Yeah,
work and it takes a lot of
yeah.
training, and that's where I really appreciate you talking about the actual settings on a mirrorless camera or DSLR
Yeah,
camera because many don't know that they think it's just
yeah,
kind of a plug and play, and you just spent a good chunk of money on that camera, so let's expedite
yeah,
that. I mean, we
yeah.
can actually put color tones on it and actual getting up to a 4K or 1080p to be able to produce it. And even I love my cameras too. So I use EOS Mark II. I have about four of them in here, but I love that because I think it's the best cost-effective camera for live streamers, but also for individuals who maybe just want to, they have family, personal
Yeah.
lives where they just want to take video and cameras. Like that's why I really lean towards a mirrorless camera opposed to a webcam because you can use it for a lot more things
Yeah, a
than
lot
just
more
like a
things.
webcam.
Yeah,
But
for
I
sure.
do I do have to. The Ecamm community is phenomenal. Like I know
It
there's the two
is.
individuals that they do live streaming every single week. I can't think of their names, and I'm sorry, but I know that if I close my eyes, I can see their
Doc
face because
Rock.
it's
Doc Rock is like top notch. I mean, he's
all right.
he's the
Well,
know-it-all. Doc Rock is the know-it-all. So Doc, if you come across this, hats off to you because Doc Rock knows everything about everything on
boom.
everything. So
Well,
he's
Doc
one of
Rock,
the
if you're
ones.
watching this, please come on the show. I'd love to have you on here and everything like that. So,
Definitely fun dude too. Definitely, and my Stream Deck definitely was a big one as
ooh,
well. It's not
yeah,
this
baby.
is not the daddy of it, but it definitely helps when you're doing a show, being able to push
Listen,
buttons to jump
I got the
around.
same one. I got the same one, and that is. But the thing is, what's crazy? The 24 button one is it's cool, but it's just like
Yeah,
it's a lot. This
yeah,
one is nice because you can actually create folders within
yeah,
folders, right?
yeah, yeah,
So it's like you're still getting the 24 button aspect. So yeah, anytime I talk to people about stream, listen, even like anybody, get a
yeah,
stream deck. I don't care if you Mac, Apple, PC, even just work efficiency. I work with clients all the time. It's like, hey, you can program buttons to open up your email and your
yeah,
company website and everything, and just a click of the button, right? Rather
yeah.
than like how often do we see this on a Zoom meeting? It's like, hey, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can you see it? It's like, no, like, boom, hit a button. There's my
Hit
screen.
a
Let's get this
button.
thing down, kind of thing,
I
right?
got buttons programmed for all the apps that I use, so I don't even go to my dock anymore. I just press my button on my Stream Deck and open up my app that I want to use. So
I love that. And
yeah,
Don, before I let you go, I got to appreciate your headphones because there's a lot of people. I like to have the in-ear headphones because it takes away the distraction. This is kind of what I value as like virtually professional. I have a lot of people who go into business meetings and they have those big gamer headphones and it's the most
yeah.
distracting thing ever. But I like yours, man. You got like a little gold shimmer on yours. Like maybe talk to me a
Ano-
little bit about your headphones you got, man. Those things are
uh,
fly.
Another tip from a Ecamm member in the group because I was using, like I said, those big over the ear headphones, and I was watching another Ecamm live streamer, and actually he got the recommendation for these headphones from Doc Rock, and so he was using them in his live stream. I was like, man, those are some pretty cool headphones, really unobtrusive. You can run the cord behind your
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and everything
Yep.
so you don't see them. And like I said, that's what I love about the Ecamm community because you learn so much. They tell you different tools and things like that, watching other people's live streams. And these are some, I can't think of the name of it. I have to get it to you so you can throw it in there. But and they're really inexpensive. I think I paid like 35 bucks for them, 40 bucks
Amazing.
off of, yeah, off of, but the sound quality is amazing,
Yep.
unobtrusive, really great. And I love them.
Yeah, I love that. I'm with same thing with my earphones. Like the thing is like audio is like I just need to kind of hear them. It doesn't have to have like crazy bass and stuff like that. And I'll use them for editing. Actually, I
Yeah.
realized when it comes to editing, it's important to actually have headphones and don't just edit from your speakers. I used
Yeah.
to edit stuff from my speakers and then I'd watch it on my headphones, and I'm pretty sure I lost a couple decibels in my ears because I didn't know what I was doing, kind of thing, right? So, um, well, listen, I'm sad because the time is up. I feel like, Don, I could talk to you all the time. I would love to do this with you again. I'd love to have you on the show with Deskrig TV. It's been absolutely phenomenal.
Definitely,
Thank you
man.
so much for joining on here.
No, man, I appreciate you having me. Like I said, I just wanted to. I wish we could just have a jam session like we did the other night with Gabe and everybody because I like that kind of free flowing just conversation. And I appreciate you having me on there,
Well,
Garrin, and
definitely.
appreciate your friendship, man.
Oh, of course, always. And this is the thing with the community. And like, I mean, I know Ecamm. I know I'm a PC guy, but listen, hey, if I had a Mac, I get one. You know what I mean? That's gonna be my next purchase. So I'll be on Ecamm pretty shortly here. And I know Gabe is gonna be watching this because I don't like every stream I go on. Gabe is in there. So Gabe,
Gabe is
listen,
all
let's do a
over the
little.
place, man.
Oh man, dude, like let's do a little party rock session. I'm happy to come on, and even for yourself, Don. You know, if you need somebody to come on a guest and just fill some time.
Oh,
If
man.
anybody's been watching my content, they know how much I love to hog the mic. So not a problem at all.
We definitely got to have a party session, man. Because like I said, that was fun, and I just love the energy, man. And I love the energy that you bring and the knowledge that you bring, Garrin. Learning so much from just you as well.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, let's see how I got my producing show. Let's see how I can get you on the edit out here. Let's see. All right. I got the hot buttons here. Let's see. All right. Thank you so much, Don. We'll get out of here. And ladies and gentlemen, a little switch up. This is Deskrig TV, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Garrin Bulani. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you do have any questions, you want to learn more about live streaming, the best possible position to be successful. Welcome to TV Studios, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Now in the street there is violence, and